That means I'm not near my drink anymore.
All right.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast episode 370. It is another fine or cold and snowy Sunday here, at least in most parts of the U.S. But we're here. We're ready to talk. We got some good topics today and some good info on new games to talk about. I'm very excited about. And we have a regular cast of characters here for you to interact with, including the Tie Guy Man himself with a new studio. How we doing?
Regular cast, new background.
That's right. Yes, I'm no longer a little behind the scenes. I don't think I've ever mentioned this publicly on the show, but a little behind the scenes info for the past 6 years. Wow. Since COVID. What happened was during COVID, somebody at IGN, I just maybe only been working at IGN for like a year at that point, and somebody at IGN said, "Hey, could you appear on a podcast or show or something?" It was probably Fireteam Chat related. And I, as a fake it till you make it believer, I said, of course I could do that. And then I immediately was like, how the hell am I going to do this? I don't own any of the equipment. I don't have space for it in my home in San Francisco, etc. And so being a scrappy guy, I stitched together 2 TV trays to a microphone and a key light and a bunch of other equipment that I bought online. And I faked it having some kind of streamer setup. I did not. For this entire 6 years, I've been still using that same setup. Every week, every time I have to set up for a show or anything, I pull open TV trays and attach expensive recording equipment to them and then sit in a chair and pretend like that is a recording studio. And those days are finally behind me. I don't have to spend an hour every time I want to record a show setting up and tearing down a fake setup. And so it's kind of nice. Anyway, awesome. This is my new studio. It's fun.
Yeah, looks good. Shows that you and Hogue are both extraordinary geeks, which is awesome. And I was joking that I now have the most plain background. There we are.
That's right. And obviously you're the only one here who doesn't read, because no books.
Obviously.
No, not a book in sight. Not a single one.
To be fair, don't read much. This is true. So.
It's hard to find time to read these days. I complain about this a lot.
Yeah, that's way too much time. Hogue, good morning, my friend. How we doing out in Michigan? You staying alive up there? You got power?
We got power. The best part of living on the same small piece of grid as the emergency services as I do in my town is that it rarely goes down, and when it does, it's for like a blip because they fix it real fast. So we have power. We have heat, ostensibly, but if you've ever tried to heat a home in a winter snap like this, it's like it's so cold out there that you still kind of feel it in your bones, even inside. You're not exposed to frostbite or anything, but it is crazy right now.
Yeah, it's really cold here, but you guys have it something else. We got, I guess, lucky. We had to replace our entire HVAC unit this year, and we got like this ultra high efficient, the top one. The nice thing we've noticed is that even with it being like absurdly cold outside, it's holding 70 inside without even a chore, which is nice for a change. But I tried to see what that bill is going to look like at the end of the month, but
don't think about that. Stay alive.
So anyway, we got a great show this week because we finally get to talk about Fable of all things in detail too. Xbox Developer Direct, so Fable, Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation, which we'll touch on, and a little game called Kiln, which was their surprise game. We also have Ubisoft doing more Ubisofty things. We'll touch on that, and we got release date and some more smaller updates on Marathon as well, which we'll get to, of course. But before we do all of that, we've got to get caught up with our community and my good friend from Southern England himself, Fatboy Horror, 10-pound super chat.
I need to prepare a northern accent for him, Yorkshire accent. Fatboy Horror 10. pound super chat.
Quids.
Right.
Yeah.
Fable. Sorry, the pound and the euro symbols sometimes look the same to me. Fable, finally. And how good does Forza Horizon 6 look? Already got my order in for Forza Horizon 6. I'll see you buggers on the streets of Japan. I'll see you buggers on the streets of Japan.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
You should make him posh again. I know he loves that.
Yeah. Look, I didn't know how was I supposed to know what region of the UK he's from? All right.
Yeah.
I guessed. I got wrong. I even chose the more populous place.
To be fair, I am supporting you in this. You're not supposed to know, but I just noticed, and I know I've known Fat Boy for years now, so I know, we've chatted, of course. But if you look at his actual avatar, it says Yorkshire Gamer.
Oh my God, it does. Dude, I'll be honest with you. This is the first time I've had a monitor in front of me during the show big enough to see what his symbol looks like. I was on a laptop before. A laptop.
Are we not going to have what is that emoji from Travis because it's on a pin?
Yes, that's basically it. I was basically doing the show on my phone secretly for years. So, this is the first time I've actually been able to tell that his icon is a man holding a controller. I didn't know that.
That's awesome. Fat Boy, yes, I'm pumped about FH6 as well. We'll talk about it more here soon, along with Fable, of course. So, thank you for the support. As always, appreciate you, my friend. Don coming in crazy already with 3 super chats.
Don, gotta love him.
Lionheart, $5 super chat. Good morning, all. First, Hogue, don't worry. I'm not playing Trails Beyond the Horizon. I only played the remake. No idea what Ains is talking about.
I don't know. There's 98 Trails games.
Okay, so we talked about this last week. Trails Beyond the Horizon is 13th. But yes, I was surprised to hear Don was playing that one. And so it's good to have that surprise changed to, I figured he was playing first chapter.
Okay. Sorry.
Got it. I just want to point out that the rolling on the floor laughing emoji is after a comma and before a period as part of the sentence contained within the punctuation. Unbelievable move. Honestly, if you want my personal opinion on what is like the number one indicator that you are a psychopath, ready with ill intent toward man, emoji within punctuation is.
You pretty much nailed it.
To be clear, this just means he's a lawyer. All right. No, you can say that that's a psychopath, but that's a lawyer move right there.
No. That's not a lawyer move. That's insane. It's a string. It's a string within text. Unbelievable.
All right. We're moving on. And there's too many Trails games. I don't know what they are. It's fine. He's playing Trails.
Do you want me to relate all the Trails names?
Absolutely not. Trails 1, HD, and 2, I believe, if we're talking about the right Trail series. The better one.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like riding
Trials
a bicycle.
HD, by the way. Amazing series.
A great game. A great game.
Heart $5 super chat number 2. Second, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 DLC is done. I enjoyed them all.
They're great.
Played and beat Stray Gods. Great game. RPG musical. It was great. Now, Celesta, a CRPG. Stay safe, all.
Don is out there playing video games.
He's playing. We got his weekly updates.
He makes me feel like I'm not playing enough.
Yeah, he's basically a fourth member of the pod. I mean, every week we hear what he's
currently playing. We'll save.
We get a currently donning every day.
What are you donning?
Don Lionheart super chat number 3, $2 this time. He cheaped out. Oh right, Fable looks awesome. Beast of Reincarnation has potential. Have I mentioned I hate acronyms and they're useless?
Dude,
he didn't want to pay Google more. It was his 3rd super chat.
It's fine.
Being in the tech world, as you know, like the amount of acronyms I have to deal with every day in my career work is insane. At one point, I actually made a book of acronyms as a training guide for new people because there's just too many. Like you don't know what they are.
I have a theory that we have spent far more time explaining what our acronyms mean than we have saved using
just saying the words
by a wide margin. And it gets to the point in my space in tech and in games where there are multiple acronyms that are the same acronym but mean different things, and you have to know which
GOW
is which
will really get
context.
Yep,
hilarious. Yeah,
Gears of War. The best is, of course, FTW, which means for the win in the gaming space. But most people who grow up in my age think it means fuck the world, which is a whole different thing than.
I have never heard that acronym FTW meaning that. That's crazy.
Yes,
Why does that mean that? What possible use
I don't know
case?
who started it, but that's what I knew it as before the gaming community.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Captain Logan, our friend from over at the Xbox Expansion Pass.
Wow, now I can see that his is
he's a big Sea of Thieves guy. That's his Sea of Thieves.
I
That's his
know he's a big
Sea of Thieves podcast.
Guy. He and Keel Hall's a Sea of Thieves podcast. I did not know that. I do know who Captain Logan is, though, because we've played Sea of Thieves together. All right. Good morning. Looking forward to the conversation on Fable, as I'm ready to be the worst human being I can be and still save the world.
We'll talk about that, Captain Logan. We'll talk about that.
Indeed.
Logan, thank you, my friend. And Don, thank you as well. Appreciate you guys. All right. And of course, we've got Tide's picks. She reached out to me this morning and she said, since you're going to be talking about Fable, this is technically a Fable. And this is what she sent me.
I like
Grimm's Tale.
Oh, I see.
Oh, we're all pigs.
I look like a fat piglet.
I look horrifying.
You look horrendous.
Yeah, I look absolutely. They just changed my nose, basically.
I just like that I got the brick house. I appreciate it.
I was going to say, I got straw. He got twigs. Ho gets the damn full brick house with a light and door and window and everything. It's ridiculous.
To be fair, Ains, he is a brick house.
He's a brick. No, I'm not going to say.
I like that his tongue is out.
That's how I walk around.
Yeah, it's like he got a brick house, but he clearly inherited it from his family because that guy's way too dumb to have built a brick house.
Family
out, derpy face. My character looks like he really regrets his investment in stick-side property. He's just,
Swamp
horrifying, Travis.
He fucked up, dude.
I'm just
amazing.
I'm just Piglet living his adult life. That's it.
I always wanted to know what I'd look like as a pig.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't wonder anymore.
You guys haven't wondered? You haven't wondered? No. I'm gonna start doing this now during these. You've never wondered, Hogue.
Todd, thank you very much as always for the laughs. Appreciate you. All right, boys, before we get into game conversation, of course, let's touch on what we've been playing. Hogue, I'm going to start with you this week because I've led this off the past couple of weeks. What crazy games I've never heard of have you touched on this week, my friend?
I do have a couple games that are crazy that you've never heard of to talk about. I am still playing Terra Invicta. I will probably be playing that until I die. That game is just ridiculous long and awesome, and I could not recommend it more. But the game I want to call out specifically this week that I hadn't heard of before I saw it on my eShop window is a game called Cozy Caravan. And I play a lot of little indie games that have cozy vibes and even cozy in the title. But the basics of this game are that you make your own little animal creature, and that animal creature has a caravan, and it's driven by like a giant bee. And you go around and just talk to various villagers and you help them at their milk bar serve milk. You help them learn recipes. You make things. But it's just really delightful. It's got a nice graphical style. It is very low stress. It is the opposite of sweaty. It actually reminds me of a game that I didn't really gel with last year as much called Locomoto, in that you just kind of set your own goals and you're constantly trying to upgrade your caravan and do these various things. But it really is just delightful. If you're going to have a game that has so little kind of game mechanics, you really have to hit that vibe perfectly. And Cozy Caravan hits above its weight class for what it is. So if that interests you at all, I recommend that. I don't recommend it to Ains. You're not shooting anybody. You're not gathering weaponry.
No, I'm watching the video. Not me, but that's fine.
Not you. But it is delightful. They use a kind of stop motion animation within the graphics that are it just really works for them. The other thing I would like to recommend to folks is a game that I think came out a little while ago that is in the genre of how do we make Slay the Spire but not be Slay the Spire? And it is premised around you being a person that died and is resurrected from death and finds the world in a different place than he left it. It's called Knock on the Coffin Lid. And you have these various characters that have these various kind of roguelike elements and artifacts that they collect as you play card battles against monsters that come up against you. But it's got this kind of medieval monster feel that reminds me of Witcher, or more specifically reminds me of the card game that the Witcher folks made that I can't remember the name of. It's like King something. Yeah, it is Gwent, but they made a video game out of it.
You're talking about Thronebreaker?
Thronebreaker, thank you.
Oh,
I think that's
such an underrated game. Everyone should.
Great game.
That's how I feel about Knock on the Coffin Lid. It's got that kind of Thronebreaker feel. So if you like any of the Slay the Spire, build a deck, put your character together, work around artifacts, and then pick which direction you're going. I really, really like this one. It's got a great graphical style. Those are the two I wanted to point out.
Knock on the Coffin Lid?
Yes, because there's a guy essentially that goes and raises you from the dead and says, go off and make your fortune.
That's my favorite Rob Zombie song. Knock on the Coffin Lid. Love that song. Great track.
Looks awesome. I love the style, like you said, Hope.
It's a really cool graphical style. It's kind of a cartoony, thick outlined monsters, Witcher, Thronebreaker kind of looking style. And it's just got a lot of meat on the bone, a lot of things to play through. I think it even has an expansion that I didn't get yet, but highly recommended. Really cool little bits of strategy in your deck building and synergies amongst the way you build your characters. The stuff that I like out of these things. I know I've talked about Monster Train 2 being basically my favorite version of this. This is in that kind of ballpark. I don't know that I like it as much as Monster Train, but it's got that kind of vibe and that strategy. So I highly recommend it. Cozy Caravan, if you're looking to chill and be a little, I'm actually a dapper little seal that goes around and helps people out. I wear
that's also Hoag's pillow talk. I'm actually a dapper little seal.
It is. I got a little tuxedo.
Mrs. Hoag is like,
and a cute little seal face.
No.
Yes. Well, I'm constantly looking and evaluating games, mostly for my girls, but sometimes these things just really connect, and I really like this one. So you can be a dapper little seal. You can be whatever animal you want. They've got cute little character customization features in it. Cozy Caravan, Knock on the Coffin Lid. Very different games. Recommend them both. Please do check them out. That's what I've been playing when I haven't otherwise been devoting my time to giant RPGs at the end of decades-long arcs and trying to save the Earth from aliens.
The way you said Cozy Caravan, Knock on the Coffin Lid, it sounded like it was a DLC. Like,
yes,
Cozy Caravan, DLC, Knock on the Coffin Lid. Just the most rad.
It's not cozy anymore. Cozy Caravan, $20. Knock on the Coffin Lid, $25. And yes, Knock on the Coffin Lid does have a DLC called, I just looked at
Cozy Caravan. Oh,
Nightmares of Melenis for like $8 or something. So cool, man. That's awesome.
Cool.
So I'll go. Let's see. Nothing new to talk about. I did start playing Dispatch. Finally, I bought that over the holiday sale.
Nice.
And started playing. I'm 3 episodes in, so I'm about to start episode 4. I really, really like it.
It's a very polished product.
Yeah, the animation is shockingly good for that type of game. I really like the, snarky, sarcastic humor in it. I like the situations you get into, and I kind of already like the goofy ass premise. So it's a lot of fun. I'm already digging it. I just started it yesterday. I didn't even have a lot of time yesterday, but I still finished 3 episodes because I was just into it. So looking forward to really, really get more into that and finish it up. It's awesome though. Have you played it yet, Travis? Because I know we talked about it.
It's been on my list for a while, but as you know, I was catching up a lot on pretty high priority games at the end of last year, and then now I'm playing other stuff. So
yeah. So
I really
I
want to
think
play
you're
that
gonna
one,
like it,
and I will. I'm sure I will.
Yeah. So looking forward to playing more of that. And then I went back. I think I mentioned last week I went back to Liza P. I just was in the mood for a Souls-like and tried to get into it. Boy, did I ever! I ran through that game, so I've already completed it.
You beat the expansion?
Not the expansion. I've beat Liza P. Okay. I only started. I wasn't going to go right into Overture, and then everyone was saying how good it was, and I was just like, all right, screw it. So I bought it, and I started it yesterday. I'm at the zoo.
You went to a zoo?
Yes, yeah. So I'm very early. I just got into the zoo, so I beat the mini boss in front of the zoo and just got into it. I haven't gone further because I started.
Was it a Yeti?
Not too far from it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not too far from it. But Liza P, really, really good. I liked it a lot. I have some qualms with it. I think the weapon durability thing's dumb. I think there's
I
a
don't
few other
remember
things
the
I'd
weapon
change about it.
durability.
Remember, you're just constantly hurting you, and you have to like grind. You have to switch to
Oh,
grind it to
yeah.
fix it constantly, and
yeah.
it's like this is just a waste of time.
Well, Ains, the other thing I would say on Liza P is I know it got a pretty big kind of almost 2.0 change in balancing. So I don't know that Travis and you necessarily played the same game.
So what
Yeah.
they did is they left what was the original difficulty, the Souls-like difficulty, right? That's now called, believe it or not, Legendary, which is silly. And they have 2 difficulties below that now. So they
Okay.
made it more accessible for people who don't want to grind on the Souls-like stuff. So
Got
I
it.
just played it on Legendary because that was the normal default, for me.
Sure.
But there are other options for people who don't really get into the difficulty or the challenge of the bosses.
I
And,
did
and to
hear
be
they
honest with
made
you,
the game a little easier in general, though. Like they changed some stuff. I never went back and played the original campaign, but by the time I got to Overture, there was like, I think they were trying to overcompensate for people saying that their game was easy now. Because
Overture I've heard
in
is
Overture are pretty brutal. Yeah,
a lot harder. The enemies, it's kind of like Shadow of Erdtree. It's like if you don't go unprepared, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. The last level in that game is a gauntlet. It's very long, and the final couple bosses are spectacles and very multi-stage big bosses. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I think it's really well done. I'm very excited to see what NeoWiz does with their next title, especially given the IP. What they can do with it.
Which are we? Is that a spoiler still? Are we allowed to say what it is?
I think everyone in the world knows. So
it's
if you
all
don't
the
know,
IPs.
yeah. So if you don't know, they
Pretty
tease basically Dorothy and Oz at the end of Liza.
Is it out of copyright protection? It's ours.
Yep.
Liza P.
Yeah.
Next up,
Well,
Alice
it's kind
in
of weird how
Wonderland.
it's weird how they do it. Because they say the one character says like I need to follow up on Dorothy, and you're like what? And then they show Ruby Red Slippers clicking, but they show it in Krat, like. So I'm like, are they just going to incorporate Dorothy into this world in Liza P world, or are they going to actually go to Oz, which I think would be much cooler? So we'll see.
Her power is that she can teleport, right? That's Dorothy's whole thing. So
Dorothy doesn't have a power per se, but
slippers,
reimagined
but-
perhaps.
I mean, you tell me she doesn't have power when she transported her home into a magical land with a tornado. Come on, she is the
and
tornado.
lots of Travis
She is
size.
the great storm Hogue. That is Dorothy.
She is the one who knocks on the coffin lid.
That's right. Yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah, dude.
Eric asks,
Hella
is
metal
Overture
today. This is a metal show this morning.
Eric asks, is Overture big? I've been turned off by the price a bit, waiting for a sale. So yeah, it's $30, which I was the same way. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $30, but Liza P I played on PS Plus, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll get it.
I would say it's
And
like
so-
a third the size of the base campaign. Again, it's been a while since I played. the
someone
base
said like 10
campaign.
to 15 hours, or
Yeah,
8 to
somewhere around
15,
that.
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, depends how much trouble you have with it. If you're,
I was going to say, I'm sure that's 45 for me.
Yeah, you can get through it pretty quick if you're, or not that quick. I mean, I think it probably took me. I should go read my review again. I honestly don't remember. Go read my review. It's more accurate than what I'm saying right now, I'm sure. But my recollection is it was like 10 to 15 hours in that range. And you think that the boss fights get crazy in the base game.
Okay, nice. I'm
Every time
excited.
y'all talk about your souls, I have to remind myself I got to get back to Kazan.
Anime.
You got to get back to what?
Kazan.
If you could get past the demo levels,
He's
I
going to
would
get past the
appreciate
demo.
you.
I will tell you when I do. There's so many games out there just in the world, and there are so many awesome experiences.
It's pretty tough
true.
to choose, isn't it?
I don't love to grind against the skill wall of a Souls game because I'm not that skilled, and it clearly takes me longer than they're anticipating when they made it.
I don't really think Kazan has that though. Like you don't really ever have to like stop and just kill things to grind.
See, you say these things, and I do.
It does.
Yeah.
I saw people struggling with a couple of the bosses in Kazan.
Really?
I had to fight the Yeti 20 times. The Yeti.
And keep in mind that we've said this many times, Hogue, but the demo was 2 levels. So the Yeti's the end of the first level, right? The boss at the end of the second level, which is the end of the demo originally, is way harder than the Yeti. So that's why I kind of want to see you get to that boss, because I want to see how you do against him. But I will say, if you could beat that boss, you can beat most of the stuff in the rest of the game.
I was like 90 hours into Kazan, and I went back to that boss at the end of the second level because I needed to grind some material, and I was just one-shotting it. Just
Yeah.
boom, you're done. Goodbye. It was pretty funny.
Well, I do
Yeah,
like
that-
Kazan, so I do mean to go back.
I got to be honest. After playing a bunch of other Souls likes now, from Wu Chang to Liza P to Natria to others, right? Kazan's actual combat flow, the fluidity of it. I just said dididity, the fluidity of it, and the kind of parry and counter effect in Kazan is beautiful. It's so well
good.
done.
Kazan's
Yeah.
enjoyable to play.
Yeah.
Good game.
Anyway, Travis, I know you
Yes.
can mention something, but anything else that you want to talk about?
Yes, as you guys know, I've spent the whole of January doing stuff that is under embargo. Not much has changed. Still under embargo, guys, but I can officially tell y'all that I have played Highguard. I am on the review for IGN. My review will be going live tomorrow when the game comes out. It is a review in progress based on an early access event that I attended. Maybe 5 hours of playing the game, something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to play a lot more before I have my final thoughts. But you can read my initial impressions tomorrow, and I'll be playing more of it. That's really all I can say. I can't say my thoughts on the game or anything like that, but you'll see a whole bunch of words from me tomorrow morning. And yeah, other than that, I hate to say it, everything else is still under wraps for me. But I'm previewing a game I'll be able to talk about in the middle of next week, and then I'll have some bigger news down the road. But yeah, that's all I'm working on the IGN side. Personally, as a gamer, got finally finished Miles Edgeworth Ace Investigations, so you guys can stop hearing me talk about that every couple weeks. I got it. I got through it finally on Xbox. So got all the achievements in the Ace Attorney games back at full power. Everybody.
I feel like this happens to you in January. Like, I feel like we should tape a commentary track like later on in the year that just goes over your own comments on what the heck you were talking about. What were you playing during all of these sequences where you're like, I'm playing a lot of games, guys, I promise.
Yeah. It's actually been a particularly busy January. Like, usually January is kind of slow. I'll do like one review and then I'll do maybe one or two things that are a little under wraps, but this is like full court press, traveling a lot. You
got your early copy of GTA 6 you're working on behind the scenes.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm going to Florida to play it in the swamps.
I'm sorry.
That's right. The Rockstar event is in Florida.
But yeah, it's been cool. I'm excited to talk about Highguard tomorrow, and we'll be able to talk about it on the show. And by then, you guys will all have played it, so you all have your own opinions. But yeah, it's been an exciting month.
Can I just put in a bid for Travis is wrong? I don't know what he said about it. I have not played this game, obviously, but can I just stake my flag in? I disagree entirely with what Travis said about Highguard.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely,
it's what's expected here. So
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to play it. Obviously, everyone's kind of core impressions are tomorrow, as you said, but it also launches tomorrow if anyone's paying attention. So we'll see. We'll definitely talk a lot more about it next week. I hope it does well. I think it's honestly kind of a good time, in my opinion, for a new shooter that'll mix things up. Battlefield 6 has been amazing, but it's been out for a few months. Obviously, you have all of your live service titles that are adding content, but a new shooter that's trying to do something different from a talented team, always welcome.
Right. The Hogue House is particularly excited about the Office characters appearing in Fortnite. So live services keep on churning out content.
And they do.
Yeah,
in different
I
forms.
did see that, and I went. That was my real reaction.
Yeah, it's kind of oh, that's its own thing.
Ains, before we go on to the main topics, I did want to mention I am playing another game that I really have always loved the design of, that got an expansion this week, Cult of the Lamb.
Oh yeah, big one.
But I've not gained access to that expansion yet, so I can't vouch for its awesomeness otherwise. But I just wanted to say I love that game. I've loved it since it came out. I just think it's a really cool combination of village builder and dungeon roguelike run thing, and also pretty dark and disturbing in important ways for such a cutesy little game. So Cult of the Lamb, I really like it. Got an expansion. I'm hopeful it's good. Haven't touched it yet, but I wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be big, like a big expansion too.
I'm told
so,
it's big. Another couple dungeons, some new characters, some new mechanics, but I have not gotten there.
Yeah. Cool little game for sure. I actually played that one a decent amount, not as much as others, obviously, but yeah. Good shout out. Let's get caught up. We've got one more super chat. I'm saving a super chat for a conversation here shortly, but we've got one from Mr. Eric, who is one of the guys, Travis, that I've been talking to about High Guard behind the scenes, just, in terms of hype, not details.
Game.positive offers $6.99 Canadian. Travis, blink twice if High Guard rules or if you are wearing a tie. All right. There you go. One of those things is definitely true. Maybe both. Definitely not neither, though. You can count on that.
I've, again, I give Travis shit about adhering to NDAs. I think it's ridiculous. I don't know what he's doing over there, but he does. He's going to keep doing it.
He's an honorable person.
That's a big leap there, Hogue. I mean, those two are not 1-to-1 there. Eric, thank you. And yes, Eric, let's hit each other up tomorrow because we'll be playing some High Guard.
I'm glad to see that there is hype, by the way. Like, that has changed since the Game Awards reveal where people are...
I think the stupid kind of cynical Game Awards video thing has turned the corner in the sense of people realize now, hey, it's a new shooter, talented team. Let's check it out.
I will say, I don't think it was a great trailer. And I don't know how much more I can say to that, except for that probably I would imagine the team probably also knows that they didn't exactly showcase their strengths, but
Well, and Keely's been teasing people, basically saying you're going to owe me an apology come Monday.
Yes, I did see that tweet as well from Keely.
I did see Keely in the studio when I was there, so he is practicing what he preaches in this one. It does seem like he has seen a lot of that game and
he has
roughly about it.
He has roughly the association with this product that would make me, in other circumstances, assume that he was a shadow investor.
He could be.
Yeah.
Their investors aren't public.
He can't be. He would have to declare that in any of these kind of puffery statements.
Probably.
Eric, thank you for the super chat, my friend. All right, let's get over to our main topic, of course, which is the Xbox Developer Direct this week. Another show, similar format we've seen for the past couple. I'll tell you guys before we get into the actual games. I think this is my favorite format of show.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is concise. It's clear. You let a bunch of people from the actual studio and developers have their moment, and you're clear about what you're showing and details of the games that you want to see. It's not fluff. It's not nonsense. It's very well done. I hope they keep these up. So,
I think it really helped Expedition last year.
It did.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it really helps Beast of Reincarnation this year.
Also true. Yeah, because I didn't have a lot of interest. Well, we'll get to it. Obviously, let's go ahead and start with the what I assume is the biggest one of the four for, people. I mean, we know FH6 is a gigantic game, but it's kind of a known quantity, whereas Fable was the curious one. So let's start with Fable. So let me just give some of the core details from Xbox on this one. And if you're not aware, Xbox Wire, which is like their news site you can go to, they have big articles and interviews on all of these games. In particular, they have an interview with Ralph Fulton, who's a longtime Playground kind of lead, and he's the creative director on Fable. And so he talks a lot about the details of how they came into building this game, because it's been in development for a long time now, and how they thought about the game itself coming off of an IP from the original trilogy at a different studio. So a couple details before we actually talk about it. So it's coming out fall this year, assuming it doesn't get delayed, as we always say. It is its own story. It is not beholden to the events of the original trilogy. They made that clear, nor the timeline. They talked about how they approached developing this game, so the essence of what makes Fable Fable. And he said the three core distinctions they made initially were that Fable is a fairy tale. It's not fantasy. And he believes that that's a clear distinction. Mm-hmm. He said it's quintessentially British, which, yes, we've talked about that. I think everyone talks about that with Fable. And that the game have clear choices, consequences, but also freedom to do whatever you want to experience those choices and consequences. it opens without any spoilers, of course. You open as a kid in the village of, I think it's called like Broomhaven, I believe. But you open as a kid. There is an incident which kicks off the main story. Then it fast forwards to when you're an adult. And then they said immediately at that point of the game, early on, you have full freedom to do whatever you want in the entire world. And it is a big open world, but they wanted players to be able to just almost immediately do whatever the hell they wanted in the world. They had released, or not released, they announced during this developer direct that there is full character customization. They had saved that, they said. So they had shown the girl, the protagonist they'd use for the the main trailer originally, but there is full character customization, so you can make whatever you want, obviously, with whatever outfit and anything else.
Well, I mean, I would clarify there. You keep saying full. There's character customization. The way they described it in the videos and the direct is, choices of faces and choices of clothing and things like that. It's not one of the slider bar Korean MMORPG character customizers, as best we can tell.
Doesn't look like it, no.
Yeah. I think that's right. Yes. Basically, he said we wanted you to be able to make your own character, make the story your own. So take that for what you will. That's pretty generic.
Yeah, which is maybe one of my criticisms of the Fable portion of this direct, is they seemed the most skittish about sharing both gameplay video and details.
Okay, we'll get to that. Yeah, so just a couple other things before we really get into it. So let's see. You can create different identities around different settlements. So they said a lot of your personality and a lot of like how people view you in the world is what they actually witness. So depending on what you do, when and where, it matters in the game. The big thing they comment on, which I wanted to touch on, is the idea of living NPCs. Now, we've seen this in other games, right? But they said there's over 1,000. Take that for what it will. But I wanted to read this excerpt from the Xbox Wire because it's kind of interesting, I think, anyway, from a game development standpoint. So they came into the concept of having persistent NPCs into the game, which are all unique, but it became incredibly complex. So they said they started working on this, and they realized that every single settlement has to have enough houses and enough beds for everyone in the settlement to go and sleep in at the end of the day. They said it was a fun day when we explained that requirement to our environment art team. But they said in games, you don't normally have to connect the dots quite so precisely. You're just building a nice looking town. But in Fable, they wanted to make it functional. So he said, as an example, early in development, we couldn't work out why one town was empty during the day. And it turns out that when they went into debug mode, it was because the NPCs were lived so far away from where they worked. They were getting up to go to work, but by the time they walked and got there, they were too far away and they had to turn around and go home and go to sleep. So the town was always empty. So I think that's an anecdote that Ralph was talking about, with just like how they've designed the NPCs to actually have like these actual job systems and kind of things they do, as well as the way they view you in the world. Lastly, and I'll stop talking so you guys can give the impressions here. They said they haven't revealed any of this yet. There's a lot to still reveal, he says in this interview. But he says there is known British actors and personalities, as well if they've taken some stuff from British shows and other things. He said, and we talked about this yesterday, guys, but he said, you've maybe seen in our trailers, we have this sort of mockumentary interview style. He said, I think people assume we did that just for the trailer, but it's actually a device they use in the game itself as well. So he talks about The Office. He talks about Peep Show. He talks about, these other kind of British, very
I'd say some British stuff I'd never heard of. Yeah.
Peep Show is a very popular show. Yeah.
We're finally getting our Mafia 3 sequel, Hogue. Mockumentary style, never misses in the games.
To be clear,
so anyway,
Mafia 3 was not structured as a mockumentary. It was structured as a serious documentary. But
yeah,
a mockumentary,
serious documentary. I mean, it is a mockumentary though, because it's a fictional.
In that it's a fictional story, but it's not a mockumentary format.
It's a mockumentary. It's a fictional.
So I was going to say, Ralph, they said that to your earlier comment, Hogue. So there's a lot of the combat system. They talk about it a little bit in the interview, but they purposely didn't show it. They're going to do a deeper dive, I think, in summer, obviously leading up to
the
release. Yeah. So let me stop talking. Initial thoughts on Fable and what they showed.
I, as I most often am, have a complicated set of feelings about this. Coming off the Direct, I was actually really enthusiastic. I thought that looked good. Certainly Playground putting a graphical thing together sounds awesome. And I enjoyed what I saw. But I then read these articles, and in particular, I read a Ralph Fulton interview from IGN and Ryan McCaffrey that said some things that made me think that maybe they don't have the kernel of what this game is. So they talk about the pillars, right? They talk about fairy tale, which I agree with. They talk about Britishness, which I agree with insofar as Fable existed before. I would have probably ditched it. I've talked about not needing Chicken Chaser or all other British isms in this game to work, but they wanted to keep it. That's fine. That's up to them. And then there's a conversation that Ryan has with Ralph that talks about whether or not you're going to have kind of the physical changes that happened in the Fable series when you do bad things or when you do good things. And the answer that Ralph gives is no, we're not going to have any of that physical morphing. And the reason we're not is because our morality system is shades of gray. It's more about the subjectivity of morality that honestly we see in the world today. There's no objective good. There's no objective evil. You couldn't get everyone in the world to agree that something is evil or something is good. That just doesn't happen. That diversity of opinion is, I think, really clear these days. That is a perfectly reasonable response to talking about the geopolitics of 2026 or any host of things that are happening in the world. It is not, in my opinion, a perfectly reasonable response for either telling a fable, conceptually, fables are stories about morals, and it's not a response for what Fable is as a video game series. So I looked at this, I thought about it, and I really think that at the core of the matter here, they are going to miss for me what a Fable game is or was. And so I look at it and say, it looks really good. I trust Playground a lot in making these open world environments. I would love to run around a fantasy world. And I do think the fourth secret pillar that they have for Fable is to make ridiculous Molyneux-sized promises. Like this 1,000 characters that are all handmade and everybody has a dialogue tree that's all fully voiced and you can marry any of them and you can kill any of them, is like, that is a Peter Molyneux type promise. And maybe they hit it, maybe they don't. Certainly the history of Fable is not quite hitting those promises.
I mean, they
so
haven't
we'll
said
see what happens
crazy, though. They haven't said like the whole an acorn
You don't think
falls and
you don't think
becomes
1,000
tree.
handcrafted, fully voiced NPCs that react to the world around them is a crazy kind of promise?
I mean, they gave a specific number. You know, it's not like they're at 1,000. They're handmade people, and it's okay to name.
I think that's pretty big.
And, yeah, I mean, but no, it's not that big. Think about how many towns there are. You get a
it's not
Barnaby.
big to build a
you throw him in
world.
there,
It's
he
big to
sells
make a
vegetables,
game.
He goes home at the end of the day. That's whatever, you know. They haven't said anything crazy. Like Molyneux said stuff that, like, even as like a middle schooler, I was like, no, that's not going to be in the game. That's crazy. Like, there's just no chance, right? 1,000 NPCs who are fully voice acted. You know, I'm sure
that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, but I'm sure 90 of them have the same, voice at least, etc. It's not going to be the craziest.
Let me see if I can find his interview answer, because no, he talks about them all being specifically crafted.
He said each with roles, personalities, and routines, and that, as you already said, you can treat each of them differently. You can marry any of them, you can kill any of them, that type of thing. But anyway,
that sounds to me like a promise that they will meet, and also it will be like not any more special than you've seen in other RPGs that have 1,000 characters. It'll be like, all right, yeah, that's about what I expected. But technically,
that's what I mean, is that you sell it like this. You sell it with like the little anecdote Ains said, and those all sound like, wow, they built a little simulacrum of the world. It's insane. And then you get in and you're like, oh no, this is mostly normal. Well, like, that's the Peter Molyneux experience.
No, it's not. The Peter Molyneux experience is him making shit up that was never in the game and was never planned to be in it in any respect, like not even on a technicality. Like that's very different. I just want to put that out there.
Anyway, Hoagie, you were making a point.
No, I mean, I like I said, I have strong concerns about the subjectivity of good and evil in the Fable universe. I don't mind the reputational stuff. I think that's a good idea of having it be localized geographically in these various things. But I do have strong problems with a lot of games, honestly, but especially a game that calls itself Fable and is in the Fable lineage, saying we don't believe in objective morality. That's freaking insane for this series.
I don't think so. Well, obviously, I mean, the whole subjective good speaks more about the collective psyche of humanity at this point in time. But I think as a game mechanic, your body changing based off your decisions was always pretty dumb. It's kind of has the same problem with like Mass Effect 2, where if are a hard ass, your face cracks up and you look like Satan. Like it's a crazy thing to do in your game. And I always thought that was a big disadvantage to, like, if you became a magic user in the original Fable, your body was covered in tattoos. If you leveled up too quick, you spent the entire game as a 65, 85-year-old man. If you ate anything that wasn't celery in Fable 2, you became overweight with no way to lose any of your body weight. Like, this
you're
was
talking about the
decision.
execution.
No, this is just a design decision that was always annoying, because sometimes you want your character to have a different flavor than the pre-canned experience that they give you. Like, maybe you want to be a magic user who isn't covered head to toe in tattoos. Not an option in a Fable game. Maybe you want to be a morally bad guy who just, maybe doesn't play by the book sometimes, but ultimately has a heart of gold. No, you're getting Satan horns on your character if you do that. Like, it was always a silly and backwards decision to do that. And I think their decision to be like, well, we're not going to judge the decisions you make, but obviously the towns will hate you, still gives you there's consequences to your action. You can be a dick, but maybe don't type of thing, without like straight up making your character in a very, I think, a very like kind of lame box that they forced you into based on your decisions, that to me always felt like it went against the RPG-ness of Fable. It was frankly just annoying, and every Fable game had that problem, except for
because they were
3,
literally fables.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a Fable and you can have somebody make moral decisions. It sounds like they're going to do that without making your character wear Satan horns. Because
all right, well, you're shifting the ground here a little bit, because most of my concern is about the entire lack of objective morality as described by this game dev, more than the character morphing. Although I do think that's a miss. It's this notion of we're going to have a Fable, which is a story based around establishing morals for a group of people, and say we don't believe in objective morality. How am I supposed to get excited about a Fable game that is ostensibly going to talk about these things, but we don't believe in objective morality at all while we wrote
it? Because I think what they're saying is that our game isn't going to judge your decisions you made for you. But you're still making decisions and suffering the consequences or benefits thereof. Like the example they gave of killing the giant, like, everybody will be afraid of you and there will be a corpse outside, and like clearly you made a decision. But I don't think that they have to force your character into a box based on the decisions you make, because then it goes against the RPG-ness of the game, and it makes people worry about the meta, right? They're not making the decision they actually think is best. They're making the decision because they have looked up guides and they know the outcome, and they're trying to get their character to a certain life path. And that to me is completely against like the freedom and fun of an RPG. And so, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think they're talking more about the outcome of you making those decisions, and like,
yeah, they wanted to make a normal RPG with a Fable skin, but that's not what I wanted out of a Fable project.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that core. You're still making the decision. They're just not making you look like Satan because you.
Yeah, but they wrote this for what they wanted to build. What I'm saying is slightly different than what you're saying, which is that with this notion out there, this is our belief and this is what we were aimed at. We wanted to make something different than what Fable has been. I don't have faith anymore that the project is going to result in what I would want to play out of a Fable game. I don't want Witcher again. I love Witcher. Witcher can go sit over there in its slot. I don't want to hear you tell me in your Fable design there's no objective good and there's no objective evil.
So I don't know if this helps or hurts, but in the interview with Ralph on Xbox Wire, this paragraph is at the end. And he says, it's why we say our game will never judge you, but the people of Albion will. Sometimes people have said, well, that's the same thing, surely, isn't it? But in a diegetic way, it's really not, because different people in Albion will have different perspectives on the things you've done, which again kind of mirrors the real world. So that's what
Yeah.
these guys are talking about. Just for anyone who's not
Yeah,
aware,
that's
it's
that
like,
exactly. They don't want the game to like force you into making certain decisions. I get what they're saying, and I get what you're saying, Hogue. I just think you guys are talking about different things, and I think you're interpreting their words incorrectly, frankly.
Fair enough. I think that their project is no longer one I'm excited for.
oh,
Cool.
Hogue, don't
Boo-hoo.
Hogue it.
Oh no, we lost the Hogue.
You're
What
not
are we gonna
excited
do?
for Fable? Come
Now you're
on.
90% of games that he's not excited about. Who
I would
cares?
love to be excited for Fable. I really enjoyed the video they showed, but like this is completely what I seek to avoid.
So do you think,
story.
let me ask you this. Do you think that you are preemptively judging and putting too much weight on this one aspect of the game?
I think that we haven't seen enough for me to have a complete picture of what this game is. So this is information they wanted to put out into the world. I'm going to react to it as I will. So I think, do I put too much emphasis on it? This is one of the small kind of kernels of information we actually got. Maybe, but that to me really is what Fable is getting into a fairy tale world, which, by the way, even earlier in his interview, he says has a moral component to it. So there's a lot of zigging and zagging on these various things. I understand, Travis, that the design here is they want to have a reputation system, a faction reputation kind of concept in geography in the world. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem.
It's moral based. It's just they're not doing the stupid part of it.
Maybe it is. I just don't know anymore, right? Because
they showed that if you're buying up all the property, people think of you as like greedy. Like that is a game mechanic that is sort of like attributing a certain behavior with a moral outcome and people judging you. But just because your character buys a lot of things, how annoying would it be if they just decided in game that you buying a lot of stuff meant your character was a greedy capitalist and therefore they put Satan horns on your character and there's nothing you can do about that. Like that would be.
But the notion of a fable is that the storyteller is coming to the storytelling with a notion of what is right and wrong. That's what a fable is.
Yeah, I would argue that they're doing that. They're just doing it through the characters treating you a certain way and not the universe beating you up because you decided you wanted to play an RPG a different way than they decided that you should play it. Like it's counter to the RPG-ness of an RPG.
Would you say that it is in fact part of the franchise Fable before now?
Yeah, an annoying part that they should have gotten rid of. Thank God.
Okay, so you wanted them to ditch it. They ditched it. You're happy. I wanted them to ditch all the crazy British humor. They didn't ditch it. I'm unhappy. It's
yeah. And you were wrong and I was right. So that's the difference, right? Like,
all right. We're moving past that point. Obviously, we have a lot more to see of this game. I will tell you, for me personally, I'm very excited about this. What I was hoping for is big open world, silly RPG that retains a sense of humor because, I think KCD 2 does that well, right? It has a lot. It's funnier than most people will think going into that game. Witcher's not very funny. Cyberpunk's not very funny. You know what I mean? A lot of these open world RPGs that you get that I love to death, don't get me wrong, don't have a lot of humor in them. I think that
Witcher's not very funny. Should be on the box, but that's true.
It has moments, but, honestly.
I mean, they all have those little goofy quests or other things. But I mean, as a sense of the game, right?
Anytime you're talking about the bard or the dwarf, pretty funny.
But it's built into the layer of Fable that I can appreciate. So for me, I'm very excited. I do want to see more of it. I think we all want to see more of it. But I'm very excited of what they built here. And there are some, one of the articles I saw, I think Jez wrote over at Windows Central, and a few other people are basically who have seen more of this game, is saying that this is a new bar. Like Xbox is using this as a new bar of quality. Now, whether or not they actually hit that mark, obviously TBD, but it feels like they're really putting all their resources into making this a grandiose, experience more than just kind of hitting a middling level. So
I didn't know they had a bar.
I would be surprised if I wind up liking Fable as much as I liked Outer Worlds 2.
Okay. So, yeah, different. I mean, I think that'll be more of a personal opinion. I think Outer Worlds 2, from what I've played of it and how it got reviewed, very highly regarded, right? But it sounded like the way, I guess the way I'm saying is, it sounded like the way this was written and the way that they're putting the resources and the time to develop Fable is they want this to be a showcase game, right? They want this to be one of those games that's looked at as an all-timer, that when people think about Xbox as an IP, they say Xbox made Fable, and it's,
A prestige
like
game.
Witcher
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
Can I
exactly.
say something then about Microsoft? That is a wildly inappropriate place to position the Fable franchise. Like, this is going to be a monstrous failure for them if they expect it to be a prestige game they can point to in a decade.
We don't know that, though.
Yeah, you don't know.
How do we know that?
No, the Fable franchise
you keep
doesn't
going back
support
to
that.
Fable as a franchise.
That's what it is. Yes. Well, they talk about they have locations from Fable.
You realize this is a
clearly
new game made by a different team, right?
No, but Hogue, I realize it's an existing IP. We all know that, right? Everyone knows that. But we, meaning seasoned gamers, know that. Your 20-year-old who has never played any of the Fable games doesn't give a shit about the original IP, right? They don't care. They know this is Fable and this is a new game, and to them, it's going to be the first style of RPG, in theory anyway, maybe, that they've played in this vein, that has this goofy British humor, that has these concepts that they're going with. They may have never played something like that before. And if it's a higher quality bar in 2026 than the original Fable was at the time when it created its niche back then,
And
it could be a very big game. I'm
have
not saying it
played
will. I'm just saying it could be a very
Even
big
if they
game.
have played it, Ains, who cares? This is a new game. It's effectively a reboot, right?
No, you're not listening. Travis, I know that you're in a cranky space right now.
I'm not cranky.
You're not listening to me. They talk about the pillars of the Fable franchise at the start of their press release, at the start of their video, at the start of their interview, right? They talk about it being a fairy tale. They talk about it being British humor. And these are niches that are not going to support mass adoption and prestige wins. I'm talking about what they have said themselves about this product. So Microsoft is setting this team up for failure, if that is really where they're trying to position it.
Well, I think mass adoption and prestige are different things. There's plenty of games that are like thought of very well that didn't find an audience as big of Call of Duty. I don't think that has any indication on or bearing on quality. And two, it not being the type of game that works as a prestige game. I would have said the exact same thing about God of War. And then they rebooted the franchise and they made it serious and they changed a lot of stuff about how that game works. And guess what? It was PlayStation's prestige game for many years, one game of the year. That could happen with this. I want to leave space for that being possible and not just judge it based on
not saying it will.
Yeah, exactly. But none of us know. We haven't seen enough of the game. I personally have concerns about the combat because the little bit they showed, I was like, I don't know about that.
The little bit they showed.
A little bit. Yeah.
They were having game play absolutely like stripped from their bones. Like you could see that they didn't want to show basically anything yet, which is remarkable since this game was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are legitimate concerns based on the developer direct you could have about like, is the game going to feel fun to play? That was my big takeaway, was like, oh, the combat looks a little iffy. But I said the same thing about Hogwarts Legacy and was wrong about that. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. They've got a lot of development time on this, and it's probably going to be mostly polish on that sort of stuff. So we'll see.
And to defend you, Travis, the combat in Hogwarts Legacy is very iffy.
Yeah, it's basic. I'd say it's basic.
I mean, I think it worked way better. When I first saw the gameplay, I thought, oh, this is going to be a complete disaster. And I ended up, I was like, oh, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Actually like it.
It's fine. Disaster. It's probably the best description. But like, if you think of like KCD2, right, which we've talked about endlessly, that is you would think of that as a niche title. It takes place in, several centuries ago. It's got more complicated combat, all these things. It's got things that some people anyway find annoying that you have to do in that game. And yet it's one of the highest rated games of the year. We've talked about it as an all-timer. It sold nearly 5 million copies. I mean, that's
all right. But Ains, let me reframe my argument on that, because I think that's a good point, Ains. I love KCD2. It was my game of the year. It didn't make the top 10 nominations from the IGNs of the world. If Microsoft were to put all of its backing and all of its hopes and dreams into KCD2, I would have told them they were wrong when they did it. I would have told them they were wrong when it came out, and it was as good a game as I liked. I'm telling you, it's a bad idea to put it behind a brand like Fable that's aimed at fairy tales and aimed at British humor. I'm not telling you that the game won't turn out awesome.
10, okay? It was on our top 10.
It
not
was
in our
in
top
the. It was
5.
also in the Game of the Year awards.
Yeah.
But yes, I know your point. I get what you're saying. I think I disagree. That's all.
Yeah, I also
Um,
think that like you could say the same thing about Expedition 33, like turn-based combat, super French weird like indie art style, like all the stuff about that game I wouldn't think would be prestige game of the year material, but that's the way the cookie crumbled on that one.
And it
You
wasn't.
never know.
We'll move on with that. We'll
According to
cap that
you
off.
and
I mean,
basically nobody else.
Fable could be the same. This game could come out, it could land as like a 75, and we could forget about it in a month. That could happen. I don't think it will, but it could. The same thing could happen the other direction. This could come out and be many people's game of the year and be a 90 rated meta and be very popular. Anything could happen. We don't know enough yet, but I do like what they showed so far. I'm very excited to see more. And at least we finally know it's coming soon. I guess the final question for you guys, even though they just said it, we just had the developer direct. They seem confident. We have the interviews. We have all this stuff, more coverage coming. Do you truly believe it's releasing in fall?
I think it's bizarre that they are only down to a season right now on a year delay. I actually had a question for you on that, is whether you thought the PlayStation announcement was impacting the release date on this.
I actually think that GTA is probably impacting the date.
Oh. Well, I would always caution anybody to run from Rockstar. You don't have a date until that game is basically in your hands.
I think it's going to come out. I think late September is my guess for Fable. That's all I have. There was nothing. It'll be nothing more to add.
It'll be before GTA. November 19th, I think, is GTA.
Yeah, I think it'll be well before that.
Yeah, it'll be before. It'll be before that. I would guess October.
Okay.
It does feel like you can see the Fable commercials with like some jack-o'-lanterns and some Halloween decor.
Yep, and
I don't know if
the
they'll go that
changing.
far, but yeah.
And
there'll definitely be some.
There'll
definitely be some squashes of some kind.
Gourds of any kind.
Gourds. Yeah.
We have a first-time chat for someone says Fable will be delayed again. COD, Gears, E-Day, Halo remake all coming out in the fall. I still don't believe.
Who believes E-Day is coming out in the fall?
They reiterated that it's a 2026 game, and a lot of people believe it. I don't believe it.
Microsoft.
But we'll see. Yeah, I don't believe it. Anyway, that's Fable. That was the big one, biggest, I would say, from the developer direct. But more exciting for me in the immediate future, of course, is Forza Horizon 6. So we said last week it had already leaked, coming out May 19th. It does have the 4-day advanced access with premium, as we've talked about before.
With an expensive premium, man. I went and looked at it. I'm a Game Pass subscriber. That they charge the extra pound of flesh if you want to get on the deluxe version. It is as much as a full game.
Is it really? So previously, for those wondering, if your Game Pass Ultimate, the upgrades on these games with the full like deluxe expansion pass, early access has typically been $30. Is it more? It was
30 between 30 and 50. It's 60 for Forza Horizon 6.
On top of Game Pass Premium?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a Game Pass subscriber, it's $60 for the deluxe.
No, that's silly. That's too.
Because isn't Forza the most expensive version's 120, right? So that makes sense.
110 or 20, yeah, but it's been that before, I believe.
Yeah, so that's they only give you the standard edition on every game. So if you want to upgrade, you pay the difference. Yeah,
but Forza 5 was not $60 on top of Game Pass.
It was not. It was 50.
Oh, 50.
Yeah, so
it
went up 10. I mean, that's welcome to inflation, Ains. You know, it's been a couple of years.
That's more than I remembered. I apologize.
My objection to this practice continues to be the statement that Game Pass Ultimate now gets day one access to their games is just inaccurate.
Yeah, that's kind of
tough.
The
whole early access thing is a lie. We've been over this. It's a lie.
But this is a different aspect of that. This is saying that when you subscribe to Game Pass, you get day one access to the games.
No, it's the same lie. They're still saying that day one is the day that the plebs get access to it, and not that day one is the day the game comes out. It's the same lie. It's just formatted as a subscription now. A new kind of variation of an old favorite lie.
You pay them to eat the lie. That's what you do.
I think you might have a bigger contractual issue if somebody wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, it's a weird way to frame
day
it.
One in caps, Hogue. That means whatever day we say is day one. And then the day that we actually release the game is day 0. That sounds
that's
legally acceptable to me.
I'm not hiring you to be a contract lawyer at my firm, Travis, but I appreciate the
Well,
effort.
I would kill it. All right, crush it.
kill the firm.
Absolutely.
He would kill the firm.
Yeah, kill the firm and Microsoft's business, so that I
So
didn't have to
pumped about this one, of course. It is Xbox Play Anywhere, so you can play on PC and console if you buy it in through Xbox. A couple details on Forza Horizon 6 for those who didn't watch or read everything on it. So you in this one, you actually start as a tourist. You start as someone visiting Japan, and so it's not like you have this reputation as a race car driver. The idea was that you get to explore Japan and build that reputation. We'll see how they implement that. That could be cool. It is the biggest game yet, the biggest world yet. And they said not only is it the biggest playable game world, but Tokyo itself and the outskirts of Tokyo as a city is 5 times larger than any previous city they have built in a Horizon game, because there's a lot of racing and exploring activities within Tokyo itself.
That was the coolest part of the announcement. They said that they had different boroughs essentially for Tokyo that had different feels. I'm like, that's awesome.
Just like the actual awesome. Tokyo.
Progression is going to be through a Japanese journal. They really comment in the both during the direct and in their Xbox Wire article about how they really wanted to emphasize Japanese culture. And so the journal is you fill this out along the way as you explore Japan. There are estates again you can buy. What's that?
They do love journals. I built. They have places where you can put together your own journal in Tokyo. And
they said like stamp collecting is a very big thing in Japan, and so they kind of modeled it around some of the stuff that the Japanese culture is into. They have 8 estates you can buy again, but this time you can fully customize them, kind of like the mod thing they added on Forza for 5 is now part of the core game in 6. And you can walk about and kind of have people over to your house and check out your cars if you want to. And there are car meets now where people will roll up. So this is actually how you will download tunes, designs, etc. And as I was thinking about this, for people like me who really get into the space and modding and tuning and stuff, this is actually really cool, because if you remember in all the Forza games, when you go to like download a tune or download a design for a car, you do it in that little screen. It just shows you a screenshot and it's very like crappy. And so you used to download it, add it, and then be like, oh, that's not how I wanted to look. And you kind of repeat that process over and over again until you found one you like. So actually being able to pull up and see people just have all these cars in public, you can see them in the game and say, oh, I want mine to look like that, is kind of a cool idea. I think it's a cool way to do it. So anyway, that's Forza Horizon 6. Obviously, I'm incredibly pumped for this. I should be reviewing it as I did 4 and 5, but nice. I can't wait for this one.
It'll be
probably
great.
Not reviewing it, maybe finding all of the XP boards. We'll see.
There is almost no chance that this isn't going to be great. So get excited.
Agreed. Yeah, this
sounds
will
we have customizable radio stations? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it.
That would they need to find a way to bring that back.
Did you guys
by the way, the sorry?
Did you guys see in the developer direct the initial D reference?
The initial what?
The initial D, the anime? No,
I don't know. No, I see. I don't know what you're talking
is that the giant robot at the end?
What?
Oh, at the end.
That's Gundam. No. Oh my god. All right.
Okay.
Well,
so first of all, I can't recognize the Gundams, but second of all, it's not like there's a shortage of giant robots in Japanese culture.
Yeah, but those feet, those were Gundam feet. Everybody knows that. Come on, dude. But yeah, there was a downhill night race initial D reference in the trailer, and also that's a reference, and it's a reference to initial D, but the initial D was a reference material for Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, where they also do a downhill night race where they're drifting. So
I hope to see the Mach 5,
cool.
But
it was cool it was cool for anime and or Fast and Furious fans like me to notice. That's just wanted to bring that up.
No, there was nothing for Andor fans in there.
No.
No, it's going to be great. Obviously, can't wait for this one. And pretty cool. They're using the Toyota GR GT. So for those as the cover car, for those who don't know, Toyota is bringing back this kind of like long hooded V8 sports car, $100,000 sports car next year. It's a concept right now, but it's coming out and looks fantastic. So for the car people in the world, that's like a very well known car that's coming out. So pretty cool for that to be the cover. By the way, I apologize. I have 2 super chats here relating to Fable that I forgot to get to while we were talking about Fable. So this one came in earlier. So you have to yell it, Travis.
Real Chicken Chaser, €2 super chat. It's Jack Black with a beard. Chicken Chaser is his.
It's him from the Minecraft movie, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, looks like that.
Yeah.
That beard.
I could do without all sorts of chicken-related humor in my life.
So thank you, our usual €2 super chatter who customizes their account for our various topics. So we appreciate you every time. And Fat Boy Horror followed up as well.
Fat Boy Horror, £2 super chat. Chicken Chaser is an absolute requirement.
Well, you're in luck because Playground agrees, and I'm not making the game. They are.
Yep.
They they talk about it clearly. So, Bad Boy, thank you. Another comment is someone said, "How great would it be if there's a Godzilla fight in the background of one of the premiere events, and you could drive with that going on?"
I think
it's the kind of thing they would do.
Alluding to, because I thought I heard Godzilla roars in the background when the Gundam foot came down. I'm not sure if that was my imagination, a trick of the light, perhaps. But I think it might be. I think they might have Godzilla in the DLC. I'm very excited.
I think there's all kinds of cool stuff they can do. I was actually the most surprised was that they didn't really show much nighttime in their video.
Briefly,
they might not have shown any.
They did.
Was there a little bit?
There was downhill night racing. That was the initial D reference.
Yeah, briefly,
I was Leonardo DiCaprio going on the couch. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. To your point, Hogue, I think we've said it. Horizon 6 is a given. Should be amazing.
Almost a guarantee.
I can't wait to get lost in it. Yeah, can't wait to get lost in it. I do like that they so little things too for the people who really get into these. They said like they've completely overhauled the like wheels that are available on certain models, some of the aero aspects, because in Forza one of the biggest complaints is like the aero stuff you can add to the cars isn't real, right? It's not aligned with the actual cars in real life. So that kind of stuff they're supposedly putting more effort into. So for the car geeks like me, that's exciting too. I hope they do a good job on it.
The geeks.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. I would never notice one way or the other.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that I can look at something and be like, yeah, that's not factory.
That's clearly not going to be allowed.
What kind of rubber is that?
Yeah, what is that? What are you doing? And then the third Xbox Studio game, which was the fourth surprise game on the Developer Direct, is typical Double Fine crazy fashion, which I started by saying, what in the hell are we watching? And I ended by saying, damn it, I want to play that.
We wound up in very different spots.
So Double Fine is making
wait, I thought they already announced this game. And then I remembered it was because I watched the Double Fine documentary where you see the Amnesia Fortnite where that gets created. And I was like, oh, this is just that game. I guess they're finished with it now. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So the game is called Kiln. It's coming out this spring. They didn't give a hard date, but I would guess probably if Horizon is May, maybe late April, something like that, maybe beginning of May. So it is I don't think I've ever said these words in a sentence together before, but it is a pottery creation game mixed with competitive multiplayer. Dig it. It has a public space, like an open forum, basically called the Wedge, which is where you can roam around as your pot, see other people's pots, and meet with the NPCs and kind of do stuff, I guess, customize your pots. A couple other facts they said is there are 24 special attacks. So obviously different pot sizes and strengths and stuff, but then there's special attacks based on what type of pot you make, and you can combine those together with your team. And then it's got 7 maps, I believe they said at launch, and there's going to be more maps added, but they are all based on Greek or Egyptian gods. So it's really themed around kind of the not classic, but that theme of making pottery from centuries or millennia ago. 4-on-4 multiplayer.
I hope I review this one because it would be the second game I review within a year's time where you were making pot. The other being Schedule 1.
Schedule 1.
Yeah. Travis has already written his opening paragraph, IGN. Put him on it.
Put me on it. Put me in, coach.
I don't know. I'm one of those weirdos. I love Double Fine to death. I said protect them at all costs. I love weirdness like this. And
Did you play Keeper?
I played an hour or two of Keeper. I want to go back and finish it. Yeah. Yeah, I know you didn't like Keeper, which is fine. But I wanted to ask you, Ho, because I figured, yeah, this is weird. It's different. But like, I figured like your girls would be really into this.
I don't know that they know it exists. They definitely didn't watch the direct with me.
All right. Well, we're gonna have them turn you around on this one. That's what we're gonna do.
I'll just turn the camera off. I'll bring them on. And be like, what would you say if we said you're gonna fire your own pottery and you're gonna have them fight each other?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're ghosts, I guess.
Yeah, they have personalities, I guess, and you can customize them. And as you level up, like the whole thing is like as you play like multiplayer and level up and whatnot, you unlock all more customization, so you can customize your pot further. I think it looks fun.
I know this like a silly party game, something you might play every once in a while with friends or whatever. Like,
right?
Kind of remind me of Fusion Frenzy a little bit, like that era of like top down, like silly party games. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that one turns out. I have no idea how that one's going to turn out. To be honest,
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah. I mean, they took an eon to talk about it, especially when you're waiting for Fable. But I don't feel like I know much about how it's actually going to play.
Yeah,
you get water and you carry it over, or else they break you. That's how it works.
And you got to douse the kiln.
Done, dude.
I think the idea of having 4-on-4 different maps with like special attacks and being able to combine like small sneaky pots characters with like big brawny pots, and I think that excuse me, I got like the hiccups this morning. The concept is very cool. How well it plays is gonna obviously, and how well it's tuned, right? I think it's gonna be important when you're making multiplayer. But I don't know, man. It's goofy fun. I don't take this game seriously in the sense of like it has to be a big release. This is something I could see just goofing off with from time to time while having a drink. So, yeah, it's different.
Definitely the type of game to come out of San Francisco. Indie studio.
Does not surprise me. Double Fine did something
not
like
at
this.
all.
But yeah, that comes out in spring. And then finally, they had Beast of Reincarnation. So this is the game being made in coordination with Game Freak. Launching this summer. They just said summer again, no hard date. It is launching on Game Pass Premium, and it's supposedly, according to the interview on Xbox Wire, has been in development for nearly 6 years. The foundation of this game, it takes place in Japan in 4026. Sure.
Yeah.
They're calling it a one person, one dog ARPG. So they're obviously leaning into the dog, but they said the reason they're doing that is because they're mixing combat styles where the combat of your main character is real time, but Ku, which is the name of your dog, has abilities where it's turn based. So you can kind of like, you'll be attacking and fighting and stuff, but when you go to use the abilities your dog has, it pauses and you can structure things in a way. And then it does have difficulty settings. Some people were asking about, is this a Souls-like? And like,
No.
what does that play like? But they said there are difficulty settings, so it's not meant to be like a sweaty game in that sense.
No, it looks like it takes a lot from the Final Fantasy VII Remake project, actually, which is my favorite battle system. So go nuts, Beasts of Reincarnation.
Okay.
I will say.
Right. So you liked what you saw?
Oh, I loved this.
Sorry.
I had no expectations for this game at all, and I thought this looked awesome.
Cool. Okay. Go ahead, Trey.
I had one expectation for this game, which is I know Game Freak's reputation for being terrible at optimizing their games, and this game looked like it probably is terribly optimized. Again, it's got some time to get some polish, but I don't know if you guys noticed the like very clear drop in like frame, and
there were hiccups and other things.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. So we'll see. That is my main worry about this game, is I'm just sort of like, how is it gonna run? Because it didn't look amazing on the screen there, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll play.
I'm kind of partially in on this one. It looked better than what it looked more interesting than I expected it to. Not that I had big expectations. I am a little concerned. So the way I read in their interview, there's not really a lot of customization. So it says you can find different katanas, which give you different abilities, but that sounds very basic to me. And you know me, I'm someone who really likes customization and loot. So that sounds a little boring to me, but we'll see how it plays. It looks cool. It looks better than I thought it would.
Those developers said Pokemon a whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh, he is speaking Japanese, and every once in a while you just hear Pokemon. You're like, okay, got it. We're talking about Pokemon. Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So, still a cool project to see. Cool that it's launched on Game Pass Premium on Xbox, of course. So, yeah. But overall, I think really good show. Again, love the format, love everything about that. Really excited to see more of Fable. When we do, I assume this summer probably they'll have a blowout. Maybe they'll do that thing at their showcase where the final, like they've done with Outer Worlds 2 and what was the year before, Starfield, where they do like a direct after their showcase in the summer where it's like 30 minutes of just the one game. Maybe that's what we get on Fable in June.
Yeah, that'll
Who
be
knows?
Fable for sure.
Yeah, it feels like that's what it's setting up to be, which at that point we can talk a lot more about it. But well, cool.
Indeed.
Anything else on those four, boys?
No, I thought it was a really good show.
I think we covered it
Excellent.
all like true professionals.
All right, let's get caught up on super chats and comments.
Boom, 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 boom. $4.99 super chat. Hogue, I do want to say you have similar concerns about Indiana Jones. Maybe you'll be surprised with Fable.
Yeah, I think he's that. First of all, that's a random name. Longtime follower of the show. So what's up, man? Thank you for the.
His
super chat.
images of Avowed. Okay.
Yes, and I think what he's referring to, Hogue, is Indiana Jones. When we first talked about it being first person, you were concerned if that was going to play out, but you ended up really liking Indiana Jones. So
I do really like the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't. I was trying to think. I don't have any problems with Indiana Jones's morality.
I think
You
so,
did have a
yeah.
problem with the
Yeah.
title of the game. You were like, I'm not excited about a great circle. And we were
Oh,
like,
yeah?
calm
Was
down.
I?
Calm down, Hogue.
You can bring the clip up there. I don't
It's
want
no
any kind of shapes.
Yeah. Like, I don't like the great circle. That's not fun. No, we were like, go, Hogue, calm down. You haven't seen the game yet. And you're like, I believe that's exactly how it went. Verbatim.
Is that how you think of me? Is that the voice I have?
Yeah, I
like
just do
when-
a full Muppet.
I like when he shakes his head like that and his hair just flicks.
I'm getting a haircut today. It was a little out of control. I've been very busy.
Well,
Oh man,
I appreciate that. No, it is certainly the case that I tend to judge early, and I tend to judge on the negative side because I don't find hype to be very useful, especially if it disappoints me. But I came away from the video of Fable much more enthused about the prospect than I did after I read the interviews.
Okay, fair enough.
So what you're saying is
random
you're
name
trying to
also
protect
says
yourself because you've experienced heartbreak in the past. How human.
we've all been there.
How-
Hogue. We've all been there.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna give you a hug, dude. Next time I see you. I've never seen Hogue, by the way. I've never seen him in person. So
We
It's 'cause
will
this-
get
this
him out to
moment.
an event.
I don't think I've seen either of you
Sometime.
in person, have I?
No,
Oh, that's true. It's true. As far as I know, you don't exist. You're
I'm an
just
AI,
you're
a really
computer program
sophisticated
sent
AI.
to destroy me slowly over months and months and weeks.
His stroke was
But-
just someone deleted the database.
That's
we had
right.
to rebuild it.
The stroke
Yeah.
was we just needed to do some optimizations, and it wouldn't look right if we didn't take a couple weeks off.
Boom has been a member for 36 months and writes, girlfriend says Kiln is a cozy brawler. She only plays cozy. My wife had a
Alright.
similar reaction. She was like, oh, I want to be a pot. Oh, I want to smash a pot with my pot. And I was like, cool. Calm down. And then I had to hose her off.
I guess I really should show my girls these clips because I had
I'm telling you.
absolutely no reaction.
I came into this thinking we were gonna no joke, Hogue, because we talk about what you and the family and the girls play so much, and I was like, "Oh, Kiln's gonna be perfect for this topic," and you were like, "No, they haven't seen it." I was like, "Oh,
I didn't even
Yeah,
bother
you
to show it to
disappointed
them
me.
because it was like, But
come on."
I'll
All right.
correct that.
My
We're
wife
gonna
had
have an
the
update
same
next week.
reaction. She was like,
Update
oh,
next
this
week.
is from those guys that made I can't remember what other game she played from them. And she was like, oh, cozy. Same reaction.
I know I'm selfish. I know it's the obvious take, but damn, I want a Psychonauts 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fine.
you do wonder what their
Maybe in
actual
10
team
years.
is building behind
Their
the scenes. 'cause
main team, yeah.
They've got a couple of little guys here.
I don't know
Yeah.
what they're working on, but I know its code name will be a dive bar in Chinatown because that's what they name all of their code names after dive bars in
Okay.
Chinatown, San Francisco. Isn't
You
that
heard
fun?
it here first, folks. This is the kind of information you can only get from Thai Guy.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that. Also, Tim Schafer's awesome. I've
He
played
is.
role-playing
He's an
games with
amazing
him.
dude.
At Nisa Hauer 4309, member for 30 months. Kiln looks so cool. Buying day one.
Nice. Nissa.
Lisa's in.
Nissa's in, as is Fat Boy.
Fat Boy Horror, £2 super chat. Kiln, my next obsession. Seriously looks nuts.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fat Boy, thank you for the super chat today, my friend. Thank you, Nissa. I'll see you guys online, of course. I'll be smashing your pots, or you can pot up with me. We can pot
Don't
together.
Say that. Don't say that,
we
Ames.
can,
Don't say I'll be smashing your pots.
We can share pot. I don't know. There's a lot of puns here.
I'll
we
be
could go with.
smashing your pots later.
I was gonna say, AIDS is just gonna send texts out to all of us. It says, "Let's smash." We're gonna be like, "Come on now, man."
Yeah, Ames, chill, dude, chill.
Let's get some pot and smash. Let's do it.
Yeah. The way Ames plays film is like
and this is how I ended up where I am. Let's move on to Ubisoft. So Ubisoft did some Ubisoft stuff this week, which is sadly not what we want to be talking about Ubisoft for, but here we go again. So if you missed the details, I'll just cover them quickly here. They did more. Restructuring is the word they'll use. So they canceled 6 titles, including the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, which had already been rebooted like twice, I believe.
Yeah, they burned some capital there.
Big time. So they canceled that along with 5 other titles, which were reportedly 3 new IPs we hadn't seen, as well as a mobile game we hadn't seen. So who knows what those were. Maybe it'll come out eventually. They also delayed more games, including the Black Flag remake, which is now scheduled based on their fiscal calendar to launch before March 31st of next year in 2027.
Well, that's entirely code names, right? We don't have a verification of that project. We know it's real, but we don't. That right?
I don't think they came out and said that, but yeah, all the sites are reporting that. Yes, correct. Closed 2 of their other studios, so Stockholm and Halifax branches of Ubisoft. They closed, as well as they did some realignment in Massive, which is the big Division studio, and Red Lynx. And now they are shifting. We already knew about one of these houses, if you will, but they basically came out and said, we're going to have 5 creative houses, which immediately made me think of freaking Hogwarts for some reason. But they have Vantage Studios,
4,
which is
it's 4 houses.
Vantage Studios, which is the one we already knew about, which is responsible for their big IPs in Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. That's the one partnered with the investment from, is it Tencent? Who invested in
Saudi Arabia?
Ubisoft?
No, Saudi Arabia's got EA. Tencent is Ubi's.
Sorry, we have to keep track of which governments control our game creators now. Which rogue government is in control at this time?
Controlling the games we love. Yeah, it's a crazy world. And then they have 4 other, houses. So they're housing Ghost Recon, Division, and Splinter Cell under another. They're housing Live Service in Brawlhalla, For Honor, The Crew, Riders Republic, Skull and Bones. Damn it, I had to say it. In Creative House 3. Nice. Creative House 4 is their narrative-driven games and fantasy, which is Anno, Beyond Good and Evil, which they said specifically, Might and Magic, which they said specifically, Rayman, and Prince of Persia. Pretty comical to say Prince of Persia after you just canceled the biggest one coming.
Rayman.
And then Creative
Anno.
Rayman.
Anno in their narrative and fantasy is insane.
There you go. Yeah. And then House 5, which is their like party titles, which is Just Dance, things like Uno, Hasbro license, like they do the Monopoly and those types of games. So that's how they're structured now. And basically, I know Schreier did some reporting on this, but looking at the kind of curve of the past decade or whatever Ubisoft is, from their peak stock value, they are down 95% of their value. So they were worth over 10 billion euros at one point, just from stock portfolio. They're worth less than 500 million now.
So. You know why? There's actually a rule in France. They're only allowed to have one successful gaming company. And so as Expedition 33 rises, Ubisoft must fall. This is the rule. So it is written.
Well, Sandfall could have been a different creative house for Ubi, right? Isn't like most of their team Ubi's?
Ex-Ubi, yeah.
Yes, I know they don't currently work for Ubi.
Yeah, that's true.
There's lots of ex-Ubis in Canada. Well, yeah.
It's because there's just lots of Ubis. I mean, the reason you're seeing a reorganization like this is that they were too freaking big. So they're separating out their assets. They're able to get investment into specific asset classes this way. This is all super, super smart. It doesn't mean it's good for Ubisoft or the people that work there right now, but this is the right thing to do when you get to this bloated Leviathan size and say, all right, we're going to start actually focusing down so that investment can better follow what's succeeding and what's not. So this is essentially them saying, we're going to separate. I know there's still Ubisoft and they're saying these are just creative houses, but they are putting everything in separate buckets so that they can stop acting as this monolith. I could not be more in favor of this structurally, but it's probably a decade
Hogue
too late.
Describing his divorce to his children. It's like the exact same tone. And look, structurally, this is all just absolutely no empathy.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. You're right. I mean, this is how they should have been structured for a very long time. They grew way too big and bloated with just all over it. Again, every time I hear something about Ubisoft, my first statement is, God, their executive leadership sucks. It's very, very poorly planned over the past however many years.
I think this is the first time you could literally say, like, this is an actual strategy. This is a strategy to succeed in a marketplace.
Correct. I would agree. Yeah.
Would you guys agree if I said that Prince of Persia was lost to the sands of time?
Yes, I would agree with that. I think of the things that we've talked about with Ubisoft, the most surprising things to me is that the rest of the Tom Clancy brands got their own creative house, and Rainbow Six sits with China. Like it's just a strange split there.
Yeah, I think Hogue. I think that's because even though we don't talk about it, Siege became so big and continues to be so big for them that it sits up there in their high profit margin category.
Yeah, I mean, Vantage is clearly the place where the money lives. We knew that when they had announced the split. The other things that are surprising, of course, is anytime you have a Beyond Good and Evil sighting is like, all right, you guys canceled Sands of Time because it wasn't meeting your quality needs. You tried development in 2 different houses, and that all makes sense. Although it does have the stink of that meme that has the person talking about, why can't we build cathedrals, Dad, anymore? Because we don't remember how. And it's like, how can you not make a remake of Prince of Persia? How can you not make a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil and not lose all of your capital on just building a thing you've already built before? And Ubisoft found a way. So more power to you. But Beyond Good and Evil 2 still existing. Shock to us all. I don't know that it's a real project. I don't know that it's a real video game. I don't know that Ubisoft knows. I don't like to see Beyond Good and Evil 2 in the same grouping as Anno because I fear every day, basically, for Anno's continued existence. And it being kind of tied to however much money they're spending on Beyond Good and Evil is not a good thing, in my opinion. But I guess we'll see where that goes. The rest of this...
Speaking of forgetting how to build cathedrals, is that a fidget spinner I saw in your hand, Hogue?
It is. It's a firm-branded fidget spinner. Did it appear on camera?
It appeared on camera for a second, and I caught it. Let me tell you, Hogue, I did not miss that opportunity to notice that little detail about you. All right. Sorry.
To make you feel better. You're fine. To make you feel better, Hogue. So there's a person, we're going to get completely off track for a moment. There's a person in my career work who, when we have an on-site meeting, brings a box of things like fidget spinners, like something to play with in your hand for every single person. They lay it out in front. And I have saved this one because it's the most addicting thing to play with in your hand I've ever had, ever. But it's the funniest looking thing, too, because it is a rainbow slug.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just like, it makes this weird clinking sound you can probably hear. But I'm literally sitting here half the time just playing this thing. Am I the only person who doesn't get the desire to fidget? I don't understand at all.
It's 100% branded.
Nice.
Going back to Ubisoft, I have 3 rants real quick. Not rants, but comments. 1, Watch Dogs is not mentioned anywhere. I know that's by design. I know I'm probably in the minority, but I love Watch Dogs, and I wish that they would do something with it.
I enjoyed some time with Watch Dogs. I think Legion killed it.
Which sucks, because I actually liked Legion a lot. But
I don't think it was as good as 2.
I like Watch Dogs 2? 2 was the first kind of really cringy game that I can remember.
Cringy how?
some of the characters and writing in it.
How do you describe cringe? It's cringy.
I mean, I like San Francisco in it. You know what I mean? Like, I think the idea of some of the evolution from 1 was
I
cool.
like the drone stuff. I thought it had some cool ideas.
I need to play that one more. I have not finished 2. I've only finished 1 and 3.
The game also has a hilarious thing where Palo Alto is like connected to San Francisco directly. It's very funny if you live in the Bay Area, and it's like
I think that's why I love part of why I love Legion too. Is because it was pretty cool areas of like London and Camden, and
that was the one where your character was constantly changing based on if you died and stuff. I thought that was
you could pick
idea.
You could switch any way you wanted. Yeah,
right.
You could use whoever you wanted. I really liked it, but anyway, neither here nor there. 2, do not F up Division 3. I don't care about any of these other IPs. Don't mess up Division 3. You hear me, UB? I'll burn the rest of your houses to the ground if you mess up Division 3. That's a promise. And 3, I forget what 3 is now because I'm so amped up about Division 3.
I think it was talking about how much you love Skull and Bones. I think that's what you had indicated to me.
No, that isn't it, but you did remind me what it really was. Might and Magic. I grew up with Might and Magic, Hogue. You probably did too. Might and Magic decades ago meant something. It was a good CRPG brand. It had some good games at the time. Do something worthwhile.
Well, I mean, when they include Might and Magic as a reference, they probably don't mean the old Might and Magics. They mean Heroes of Might and Magic.
Exactly.
So, like, yes, they could. There's a lot to be done with Heroes. I think there's even a Heroes reboot like in the works.
There is. There's been other Might and Magic games in that vein more recently too, but I'd love to see like a fully fleshed out, big open world Might and Magic RPG. You know what I mean? Like,
Mandate to Heaven style.
Yeah, something like that. And don't let Rayman die. By the way, the sad thing about Rayman, like Beyond Good and Evil, Rayman Beyond Good and Evil 2, is that Ansel left Ubisoft years ago now, and he's the guy who did Rayman and started Beyond Good and Evil 2. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what happens with UB. Where I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if they do a show. Remember, they didn't do a show last year in summer, and it was mentioned at the time that they were going to do a show this year. But with all of this happening, I don't know if that's still going to hold true. I guess we'll see. So,
well, I mean, they have to figure out how they're going to actually run most of this stuff, because the idea is to split off into real different groups and maybe have less of a hierarchical control over what a given creative house will do. We already know Vantage is a full spinoff, so we'll have to see. I continue to be concerned that Anno sits next to Beyond Good and Evil, Might and Magic, Rayman, and Prince of Persia. If you were to call out, the one of these things is not like the others, Anno, look out.
Well, and just everyone you just read is like, is Creative House 4 even alive? Do they have any developers in that house? Because I don't know what's going on with those.
Are any of us really alive? Let's talk about that. Hogue, you go first.
I think Far Cry 6 is their next, big AAA
7
showcase. 7. Thank you. 7.
Out,
yeah, 7. We'll probably see that this year, but other than that, I'm not sure. So
they owe us a Far Cry. That should be in the offing.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. Yeah. Anyway, finally, just want to mention Marathon got some more details this week. So we've got a March 5th release date, which puts it only, 6 weeks away from launch. And we've got an open beta or open play session weekend prior to launch, Bungie promised. And if you didn't see, they announced all the editions and everything this week too. So you've got your deluxe edition, you've got your collector's edition, you got PlayStation controller and headset and everything else you can get for the game. So what's funny about this, which won't surprise you guys at all, but my friend Mo and I obviously bought the collector's edition because that's what we do. They shipped it the next morning. Like, he bought them at like 5 p.m. It was shipped the next morning. So very clearly they had these already in stock, ready for launch last year. And they were ready to go. So hopefully
collector's edition of what was it?
Marathon. Yeah. He already has them. Like, they're already here. So I was busy.
Because they don't come with the game, right? If I'm not mistaken.
They can. So you can buy one with the game or without it.
Amazing.
I prefer that setup.
Me too. Yeah, no, we bought the one without the game because I'll get the game differently, which is fine. But anyway, March 5th, so we're not far off from when we'll actually see what Bungie has done with this game.
Indeed. I'll be reviewing
I've been
that,
told
and
I'll just be playing High Guard, right? I'll be too busy playing High Guard to play
Right.
Marathon. That's what I've been told.
be high guarding.
I mean, that for all we know, right? That's a distinct possibility. High Guard comes out, crushes it. Marathon gets left behind. I mean, I don't think that'll happen, but we've seen
Bungie
stranger
keeps running
things.
from things. They run from Arc Raiders. They run from High Guard. We'll see how it goes.
I think all of these games have very different audiences. I know people
I don't think
have
the
to
audience is
write-
big enough to say that. I think they are
it is.
cannibalizing each other.
No, I mean, to some extent, people's time is a zero-sum game, but I won't comment further. I'll wait till the game comes out.
I'm honestly the
Obviously.
thing I'm most curious about is how Marathon impacts Arc Raiders. That's what I'm most curious about.
I don't think it's going to be as overlapping as people think it is.
No, they're definitely different play styles, but to your point, time is finite.
Take
So
your son,
we'll
for
see.
example. He doesn't play Arc Raiders because it's third person.
He doesn't play Arc Raiders because it costs money. That's a fact.
He told me he played it with you, and he was like, third person. Ugh.
He has not played Arc Raiders.
Okay.
Arc Raiders and Marathon do both cost
trust me.
money.
I will tell you the truth. The truth
You
is
say so.
he has not bought that game because it costs
Oh,
money.
he hasn't bought the game, but he played it when it was in the beta or whatever. The free one.
This is good content.
Okay. All right. Look, I hang out with Ains' son now, okay? We're buds.
All right, good.
Right?
Glad to hear it.
He's coming over later today. I'll give him shit about
Me
this.
too. Yeah.
You're coming over
I'll be
too?
there. Yeah.
Good. You could film your effing cooking video while you're here.
Did you
You know
miss
what?
another week?
I woke up in the middle of the night last night and went, oh, the cooking video. I completely forgot about it. But don't worry, it's back on my radar.
I'm putting him on the spot, everyone. Hold this guy accountable. I've been done
It's
mine for
on my
nearly a
Gotta
month.
be done by Christmas 26.
Yeah, I've been done for a month.
I was planning it, and then I went on a trip, and when I came back, it completely left my mind, but it's back on my radar. I'm going to do it, damn it.
This guy. Anyway, that's going to go ahead and wrap us up for this week. Chat, as always, thank you for the generosity. Thanks for hanging out with us. Next week, as I have in my notes here, stay tuned for the cooking special. Maybe.
Again.
And High Guard releasing tomorrow as we record this. If you're listening later, obviously it's already out, and we'll be talking a lot about that next week too. On the SG side of the house, obviously some stuff on High Guard. I think I actually am going to film a statue video today finally too. I've been delaying that forever, more than Travis has been delaying this cooking video. So but that's about it on the SG side of the house. Travis, I'll pass to you first, my friend.
Yes, my review in progress of High Guard will go live tomorrow. I have a preview in the middle of this week. I've got some other stuff. I don't think any of it's coming out in the next week though. And yeah, that's it for me. I'm chilling, guys. I'm trying to get stuff done. I will do that cooking video. I will. All right. I already bought the ingredients, so there's no turning back now. I just need to.
You're on it. Get it done.
I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I really did wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, the cooking. I woke up D. I was like, the cooking video.
D, turn on the
we
oven.
have to go record that cooking video. I totally forgot. Ains is gonna give me shit tomorrow. Literally what I said.
Hogue, show us your wares.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I don't have any new videos to pitch to you or other appearances online. I would like to call out that our fantasy critic stuff finally finished. We finally finished that draft. And on top of that, apparently, I'm the only person at Seasoned Gaming that decided to bid during the first bidding cycle. So I'm looking at our current Seasoned Gaming staff fantasy critic league, and everybody has their 5 games except me, who has 10. So if you want to come and back the winning horse, please do check out Trial by Combat as the publisher at the Seasoned Gaming Staff Fantasy Critic League. He's the only one with a full slate of games. Everybody else didn't bid at all this week, which means I overspent because they weren't paying attention. But I'm very happy with my lineup. Come check it out. Tell me how well I did. Tell me how much I'm going to win by. And that's my pitch of wares for this week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Shit, you're right.
Okay, first of all,
forgot.
There's got to be a way to set notifications when bids are open, right? Like that.
Bids are immediately open after a draft finishes. It had 6 different notices on the page.
Yeah, but I don't know when that's done. Like, This should be a notice, right? Like bids are open. Like you
He
should get
wants
a
a
notification.
text. Yeah.
Yeah, I want a
Travis,
notification.
I will entertain your trade offers for my games whenever you like, buddy.
Oh, I don't want your games. You're gonna lose just because you have bad opinions that nobody agrees with. And this is a game based on you being able to predict what people are going to think. So
All right,
I'm gonna
well,
beat
you
you just by being closer to the common man. You know what I mean?
I do think there are aspects of this that are already a little bit inherently unfair. I did see that Alex picked up Dragon Quest VII Reimagined when I know he's already got a review copy of it, but I was going to allow these things. Let's see how it goes.
I'm not doing anything I am involved with. Nothing I am involved with is on my list.
Yeah, but you definitely have an advantage because you can talk to people about games ahead of time. I have
and you know when things are going to slide out of
minor
26. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I know I have a release date advantage, but like for example, Neo 3 is on my list. I didn't talk to anybody about that until after it was on my list, and the stuff I heard, I was like, "Uh-oh." I was like, "Oh no. Did I pick wrong?"
We did forget to mention, not to keep going, but Neo 3, if you missed it, they had a 17-minute gameplay showcase on Friday, which just kind of went by the wayside, but it looks fantastic. So if you're interested, if you're a Neo fan, Souls-like fan, go check it out. It's on their YouTube channel. It looks really good. I watched it last night.
Nice.
By the way,
that one's good.
Currently,
honestly.
projections have me coming in second. This is just projections. It won't be what happens. It's just projected. Me coming in second, Travis coming in 8th, and Hogue coming in 7th. But that's because we only have 5 games except for Hogue. Currently,
it gives
Eric
you like an
winning
average.
You're
like an
in
average
first
points
because
for
you're the only one
blanks.
with a game that got scored, right? Isn't it just?
No, I'm in first right now. I'm talking about projected for the year, but it's only because it's the 5 games that were projected.
Oh.
Yeah, and the little projector gives you like if you don't have a game, we think you're going to make 7 points
How
on
do
it.
you guys see this projector? I don't see anything.
Dude,
We're going to teach Travis how to use an internet website
Jesus
after the
Christ.
show. We don't need to waste your time with it, everybody.
Yes. Anyway, to Hogue's point, thanks for bringing that up. So just a reminder to everyone, we will be giving away, I'm going to put all of this in a spreadsheet so everyone can see our teams and the points. And then basically that's going to live in the Fantasy Critic channel in the Season Gaming Discord. You will be able to bet probably in the next week or two. You have to bet now for the year to see who's going to win. And if we're going to have prizes for that, like games and some of the other things I mentioned. So check that out, join up on the Discord and get in there, and I'll tag everyone on the Discord when that goes live for betting.
And all jokes aside, I might be at a little bit of a disadvantage because in every league I've ever been involved with, you don't get every bid that you make. So there are a couple in there where it's like, well, I didn't. Okay.
Didn't really
you can
want
change
that.
them. You can change
You
them.
can
you
ditch
can always trade
things,
them.
but you just lose the money.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But I was surprised. I was
Professor
like,
Layton. How about that?
I was going to check in this morning and be like, how many did I get? It's like, you got them all. It's like, well, that's unusual.
Everyone forgot.
My inherent disadvantage is that you guys are all operating off of a base level of understanding what a draft is. I think
About how fantasy league works.
Yeah, I don't know anything about fantasy league, and so you guys.
Travis
say terms
doesn't
and stuff,
understand
You're like,
sports.
this is obvious. Have you ever done a draft? And I'm like,
Hogue,
no,
he
I don't know.
drafted
Any
with
of
us
these
last
terms.
year. We're having this conversation as he drafted with us last year.
You
said you were
controlled
driving the ship
league.
last
I
year,
was
though.
just telling you which games to pick. I had no involvement in like the bids, or I didn't know any of this stuff. You were just like, which games are going to have high scores, and I was like,
Well,
this one. That was
Travis, I will tell you the bidding timer is set to end on Saturday night. So as long as you get in some bids during the week, you can check in on them just before the show on Sunday morning.
Okay. I don't know what a bid
Yeah.
is, so I'm going to go look up that. All right. I'm going to ask
All right.
ChatGPT.
We don't need to go over the rules on our
Yeah, he's
lovely
gonna figure it
Bitcast
out.
show.
He's gonna figure it out.
I got to figure this out. But yeah, I'm learning all this from scratch. That's my that's my cross to bear.
All right, that's enough of that nonsense. Everyone, have a good week. Enjoy the gaming. If you're in any of these affected snowy, cold areas, stay safe, stay warm, and obviously we will see you next Sunday. Until then, peace.